This week on SoapNet, it's Port Charles. Jamal is one smooth operator.
If it ain't dangerous, it ain't fun.
Allison is nothing but trouble.
I'm not gonna let him get away with what he did.
But when they come together,
You shut him out, or I'm shut him.
not even danger can tear them apart.
You better stay away from you, hear what I'm saying?
Don't miss Port Charles. It's coming up next, right here on SoapNet.
I'm Lynn Herring, and you're watching SoapNet, devoted to soaps and you.
Excuse me, order for Scanlon, 2 medium pizzas with, Karen, you back?
When I get married, my dresses will be even prettier. Mine too, Gracie? If you're good and smart. Smart enough to be a doctor like me. That's what I want to be too. Right. So first we become doctors. The best doctors ever. And then we marry doctors. And will we live on the same street? Probably. And we'll go shopping together and we'll have lunch together and we'll do everything together? Sure. You're my baby sister. You're my big sister. And that's how it'll always be. Promise? Promise.
It's only natural that you'd be feeling like this, Peter. You've suffered a great loss.
My wife.
I know. I know. Sometimes you still see her face. And how painful that must be. And I also understand that right now it seems the kindest thing you could do for yourself would be to die. But I promise you, the pain won't always be this great. Now, I know that's difficult to understand now, but it's true. And when that happens, you'll be grateful to be alive and to be able to move on with your life.
Dr. Collins, I'd like a word with you now.
Just be a minute.
Campbell, physical therapy. Dr. Brad Campbell, do physical therapy.
In case you hadn't noticed, there's a patient in there who needs help.
What the hell do you think you're doing with him?
Dr. Reinstein, ICU.
Well, if it isn't the party crasher himself.
ICU.
Pleasure to see you, too.
How's your patient?
Leah could be doing better. She's not really getting what she needs from this place.
Well, I hate to be the one to tell you this, but GH is one of the finest hospitals in this state.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, but there's always room for improvement, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And in case any of us forget about that, you'll be the one to remind us.
What can I say? Never had much regard for the status quo.
I'm starting to figure that out.
Seabrook to neurology. Dr. Jason Seabrook to neurology.
Dr. Ramsey? Can I ask you a question? It's Mrs. Howitt. Do you want hermaparidine titrated to effect, or should I just let it go wide open?
Titrated, definitely. Yeah, it's right there on the chart.
Oh, silly me. I must have missed it. Thanks for clarifying.
I'm glad I could be of help.
Dr. Santana to maternity. Dr. Alex Santana to maternity.
Excuse me, doctor. I was wondering if this 600 milligram ibuprofen was right. It looks like the fever's broken.
Yeah, you're right. Why don't you go ahead and lower it to PRN temp over 101.
Thanks.
Gabriella, listen, I I know I could have made a bigger fool of myself last night, but I'm not sure how.
Don't worry about it.
Well, I want to make it up to you. Let's do it again. This time I'll just drink iced tea. Promise, decaf even.
I don't think that's such a good idea.
Really? Here, I thought it was a great idea.
Under different circumstances, it's just that you miss your wife.
Who?
Chris, you're on the rebound, okay? And I swore off those relationships a long time ago. So maybe we should just back off for a while.
For a while?
Yeah, for a while.
Well, that didn't take long.
What are you talking about?
Oh, come on. I know you, Ramsey, remember? I know when you're on the make.
So what if I am?
So I just didn't imagine you'd bounce back quite so fast.
Julie moved on with her life. Why shouldn't I?
Okay, but do you have to make everybody else's life miserable in the process?
Okay, you care to explain that remark?
Come on, Ramsey, you know what I mean. You're just going after Gabriella because you know that Joe likes her.
That's ridiculous. Of course, it is a nice little bonus, though.
You are a class act, Ramsey.
Well, thank you very much. Hey, have you finished signing off on all your patients?
No.
Then why are we having this conversation?
Because I just can't get enough of your charming wit and your warm and fuzzy personality.
Six months I've been working with this patient since his wife died. You have no idea how precarious his emotional state is.
6 months you've been working with him? The man tried to commit suicide.
It was an accidental overdose.
The hell it was. That man needs help. And if he doesn't get it, he's gonna try it again.
He is getting it. From a very qualified psychiatrist with many years' experience, not someone who whiled away their suspension, painting damn bowls of fruit and writing cheesy novels.
That man needs help to get through his grief. If he doesn't, he'll never be able to move on with his life.
Oh, that is your specialty, isn't it, Kevin? Moving on.
This isn't about me, it's about the patient.
My patient. We're talking about...
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's this herbal cleanse thing I'm on. It makes me a little jittery. I think like the only reason why this thing works is because you have to drink about 1 million glasses of water to down these pills.
Well, I didn't mean to scare you.
It's okay.
Okay, why don't you have a seat and someone will come get you as soon as they're finished with the sutures, okay?
Dr. Moran, geriatrics.
Dr. Scanlon, I suppose you thought this second MRI was necessary.
Well, if I didn't, I wouldn't have ordered it.
You have to consult with me before making a decision like that.
Well, you're really interested in the bottom line, aren't you?
It's part of my job.
No, you didn't let me finish. You're interested in budgets on every patient except your own.
Well, I get to make those decisions now, don't I? Because you're the one on probation, and me, well, I'm the chief resident. That makes sense?
Actually, it's quite absurd.
So how's Gabriella?
Why don't you just back off, all right?
You'd like me to do that, wouldn't you? But you know what? I don't think so.
Gabriella's too smart to have anything to do with you, and you know that.
Really? You think? Because she didn't seem that way at dinner last night. Don't worry, Joe, I didn't get too far either. But you know how those ice princesses are. I mean, they melt eventually.
You gotta shut up about Gabriella. You hear me, Chris, okay?
Easy. Like I said.
You're gonna do it now.
Hey, like I said, man, there's nothing to talk about. Yet.
When it comes
No fair. All the good stuff happens when I'm not around.
Well, if I'd have known you were coming, I would have waited.
Here, let me help you.
No. I got it.
Well, I'll
No,
just...
really. Thank you. Oh, I got it.
Dr. Russo,
Nice move, Ramsey.
Which of my many would you be referring to?
You baited Joe, telling him about you and Gabriella.
Oh, come on. I didn't tell the guy to put his fist through a medicine
You
cabinet.
didn't have to. You know what kind of pressure he's under.
We're all under pressure.
We're not all on probation.
Not my problem.
Yeah. You're making a big mistake here.
Really? How's
Yes.
that?
Because you think that by making our lives miserable, it's gonna make your life better somehow. It's not gonna work.
I don't know, Eve. It already seems to be working.
You are gonna end up a very lonely man.
We'll see. I guess we better get back.
Well, at least you have a family to get back to.
I'm sorry, Karen. Believe me, I replay what happened in that park with Christina every single day of my life. I was the one responsible for it. Nobody feels worse than I do.
Well, that may not be exactly true.
You're right.
Look, we could, spend all this time looking for somebody to blame, but, the thing is, I spent most of my life thinking I should be perfect and expecting everybody else to be the same. It's not gonna bring Christina back. So, why don't we just give ourselves a break, huh?
Welcome home.
Of course, this is hard for you, Mama. It's hard for both of us. It always will be. We lost our shining star 15 years ago tomorrow. It's perfectly natural that you'd be having a hard time of it. Just lucky that Livy's out of town, right? I mean, there's no need for her to be a part of all this, is there?
Hello?
Livy. Hi, sweetheart. It's me. I'm here with Grandma, and she's fine. She just had an episode, but everything's gonna be all right.
Good. I was so worried.
You did the right thing by calling me.
I just wish I could be there with you. She's the only grandma I've got.
I know, sweetheart. And if I thought that it was the right thing you'd be here, you would be, but it's not.
I bet we're not gonna have our vacation together, are we?
Sweetheart, I'm afraid not.
And I'm gonna take a vacation of my own.
Livy, look, you really shouldn't be making these sort of plans without us talking about it first, don't you think?
Look, don't worry. Jennifer and her parents are going to their house in Mexico again, and they invited me to go along with them. You're not gonna say no, are you?
No, of course not. But we're gonna plan our trip together real soon, okay?
Yeah, I'll call as often as I can, but it's not gonna be easy from Mexico.
I understand.
Will you give my love to Grandma?
Of course they will, sweetheart.
Tell me again why I can't be in Port Charles with you guys, especially tomorrow.
Well, it's because I believe you're better off elsewhere. Don't you worry. Grandma and I'll get through this the same way we've gotten through every year since Aunt Grace has died. You just go and have a good time on your trip, all right?
Yeah, if you say so. I love you, Mom.
I love you too, sweetheart. Well, everything is gonna be just fine, Mama. Livy is far, far away, and she's gonna be safe. She's gonna be safe.
Stay tuned for scenes from the next Port Charles.
On the next Port Charles.
You're in some kind of trouble, aren't you?
I don't understand how you could be so incredibly selfish.
You really have no idea what today is.
I give.
It's the anniversary of the day Kevin killed my sister.
And They thought medical school was tough. See how the hospital staff's romances survive with an all-new episode of Port Charles coming up next on SoapNet, devoted to soaps and you.
Opening pitch and